What if the housing crisis everyone's been panicking about in 2026 is actually your family's ticket to building generational wealth through real estate? Hey everyone, Gord Lemon here from the Real Estate Investment Institute. I've been maneuvering the Canadian real estate market for over 35 years, and I've seen markets go up and I've seen them go down. And I've seen the headlines which create public opinion, public sentiment, and essentially the public mindset. Today we're unpacking Canada's housing market in early 2026, the hidden risks that echo 2008, the policy and demographic forces making this uniquely Canadian, and the practical opportunities for buyers and investors who know how to act. If you want to make smarter real estate moves this year, stick around. You know, most people think Canada is immune to a housing correction. Well, think again. Household leverage, runaway prices in major cities, and thousands of pandemic-era mortgages are coming up for renewal, creating serious stress. But they also create windows to buy, windows to invest, and rebuild wealth. For example, currently we are witnessing headlines screaming about Canada's housing crisis in 2026. High debt, falling prices, and mortgage renewals hitting hard. Now, I'm not challenging this, but what if I told you that this isn't just a warning sign? For families and investors who are financially ready, it's actually one of the best times in a long time to step in and start building real, lasting wealth through real estate. So today, let's chat through the facts and the challenges, and most importantly, the opportunities that you can grab right now. If you're set with savings and stability, stick around. Hit subscribe, hit that bell so you don't miss these insights. We're turning the noise into action today. So let's start with the cold hard numbers. By mid-2025, Canada's household debt to GDP was about 103%, higher than the US peak before 2008. Debt to disposable income sits near 175%. That means basically $1.75 owed for every dollar earned. And get this, the national home price to income ratios are above 8 times income on average. And in Toronto and in Vancouver, they exceed 12 times income to buy a house. To put that in perspective, the US warning sign prior to 2008 was roughly 5 times income. So those are not small gaps. They're systematic vulnerabilities. Canada avoided a hard reset after 2008, but that blessing came with a long-term risk. The US crash of 2008 resulted in prices resetting, coming down significantly so people could actually get in again at lower prices. In Canada, not the same. In Canada, we had persistently low interest rates funneling capital into housing and speculative assets rather than productive investment and GDP growth. The OECD expects Canada's growth to hover around 1 to 1.4% in 2026. That places Canada near the bottom amongst advanced economies. Low growth plus high debt equals a very brittle system. So how about mortgage renewals? A huge number, like 60% of all mortgages in Canada are renewing in 2026. Payments are jumping anywhere from 20 to 40% or more. For many, sometimes that means $1,500 or more per month added to their existing payments. To curb a huge amount of mortgage defaults, banks are even having to resort to extending amortization terms to 30, 40, 50 years, or are reported up to 90 years just to keep things afloat. Think about that. In some cases, that means the principal isn't even going down. Only interest is being paid, and in some cases, the principal is actually growing more monthly. Add in unemployment creeping towards 7%. Housing prices down 3.7% year over year, and the Bank of Canada is still holding at 2.25%. And yeah, creating a bit of a doom loop because the public is spending less. And with less spending, we get more layoffs in other industries. Immigration caps are helping ease demand now, but the supply lag from the over 1 million newcomers over 4 years left us with real overcrowding issues. It's heavy and I get it, but here's where it gets exciting. Those same pressures are flipping the script and giving buyers like you serious power. Power of sale listings are surging in Ontario, as are foreclosures in BC, and defaults are forcing lenders to offload properties. I mean, we're talking distressed deals flooding the market with desperate sellers, maybe facing job losses or leaving the country. And now it's not uncommon to see 10 or 20% discounts with flexible closing terms and room to negotiate repairs or other concessions. Inventory is at a 15-year high in places like Toronto and Vancouver, so there's no more crazy bidding wars. Now, the Canadian Real Estate Association's forecasting 5.1% sales growth to 494,000 units and prices up just 2.8% to 699,000. Affordability is at its best since 2020. So if you got your 20% down payment ready and stable income, you can enter at these discounts and watch 3 to 4% historical appreciation happen once it kicks in, helping that compound for you. Did you ever wonder why cash-ready buyers are quietly snapping up distressed properties at 20% discounts while other people are just sitting on the sidelines? Well, let's talk a couple real strategies to make this work. Really want to focus on house hacking as a game changer. Buying an undervalued property, maybe a multi-unit property, or maybe adding a suite and renting out parts of your property to cover or even beat your mortgage. You do have to do some quick analysis. Aim for rents covering at least 5% of the purchase price after taxes and maintenance, and plan at least a 7-year hold to make up for those initial transaction costs on the buy side. Even if renting feels safer short-term amid uncertainty, owning lets you build equity and cash flow, especially when everyone's rethinking the endless bidding. This is how you turn market pain into your gain. Now, you can't do this alone. Obstacles like spotting those power of sale or foreclosure gems, or crunching cash flow, or identifying risks. All of these aspects need pros to be helping you. That's where the real estate investment specialist trained realtors really shine. These realtors are trained at the Real Estate Investment Institute, and they are able to cut through hype and analyze mortgage paydown and ROI returns, negotiate from a position of strength, and guide you past any pitfalls. Whether you're a family building equity or an investor scaling up, make down markets like the one we're in right now to your advantage. So 2026, it's not doom and gloom. It's actually recalibration. And if you're prepared, you can win big. If you're financially ready, drop a comment with your city or biggest question and connect with a real estate investment specialist expert in your area. Thanks for watching. If this helped, like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more timely Canadian housing insights. I'll see you in the next video.